Oh my god, guys. I just finished watching the new Spider-Man movie. I went to basically the premiere, and I have a lot to talk about. There's going to be some minor spoilers in this review. So, if you guys don't like spoilers, don't watch the whole thing. It's going to just be minor spoilers, nothing that's going to ruin the movie for you. But I will say this. You guys, before we get into the whole, what I thought about it, you guys need to stay. I don't think this goes without saying. You guys have to stay for the credits after the movie. There's 2 secret endings. I know that's the number one thing people try to figure out before they watch these movies. But there are 2 secret endings for this Spider-Man movie, and trust me, they are huge. They are huge. Marvel has something crazy planned for the next chapter of Spider-Man, and it looks like the next chapter of the Avengers. So will there be more movies? You bet your sweet ass there definitely will be. So let's get into the movie, what I think, and a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, we got to see this movie pick up right where the last one left off, meaning not the last Spider-Man movie, but the last Avengers movie, because we all know, for those who are watching this, it's quite apparent Tony Stark is dead. So Spider-Man has some pretty big shoes to fill. So we kind of see him struggle, with his methods of coping through the movie and stuff like that. And people kind of putting him on a pedestal, hey, are you going to be the new Iron Man? This, that, the other. That was really cool. Now, what got me to watch the movie in the first place was the villain. So I think I've mentioned it before, but Mysterio, right? That is my favorite Spider-Man villain. And I'm like, dude, they should use him as a villain. And I said this when I was little. I was like 6, 7, whatever, right? Even when I got older, when I was like 14, 15, I'm like, dude, they used all these other villains for Spider-Man, and not once did anybody ever think of using Mysterio. They finally used him. Now, I will say this. When I first saw him and everything, right, just like in the trailers, I was like, what the fuck? Is this dude really helping out, Peter Parker fight off all these intergalactic aliens and shit like that? Because he came from a different planet apparently, and Spider-Man is teaming up with Mysterio because it's a crazy thing. To kind of tell it in order, long story short, because I'm not going to spoil too much, but Peter Parker wants to take a break from the whole superhero thing. So he goes on a trip with his friends to with his class and stuff, of course, because I guess he's still in high school, obviously. They go to Europe. He wants to kind of get closer with Mary Jane, blah blah blah. Whole love story of Peter and Mary Jane type thing. And he wants to completely put the Spider-Man thing behind him just for a little bit. So instead, he gets to Europe and is greeted by a lot of issues, a lot of random supernatural elements that are disrupting a whole lot of things. So of course he has to kind of step in and he has to play Spider-Man for a little bit. But before he can even do something, he sees a mysterious figure that is defeating all of these big ferocious monster things and stuff like that, and it's Mysterio. Now, like I said, I have always known Mysterio to be a villain. Not once in any video game I've ever seen has Mysterio help Spider-Man at all. So what was even bigger is, just like the movie trailer, Mysterio apparently is working with Nick Fury, because there's a lot more of these elemental beasts out there and stuff, because from his planet, he fucking came from a planet where there's a lot of these elemental beasts, and one of them destroyed his planet, blah blah blah, whole 9 yards. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. I just don't understand why Mysterio's working with Spider-Man still. They kind of rub me the wrong way, not gonna lie. But I will say this: you guys need to watch the whole movie, because I'm telling you, I'll say about a little less than halfway through, it completely flips the switch. So all I'm gonna say is Mysterio turns out to be something we did not expect. If you guys have watched One Punch Man, the new season, all I'm gonna say is one thing: king. If you guys know what I mean by king, then you know exactly where this is going. So it did stay 120% true to who Mysterio actually is, honestly, and that blew my mind. It blew my mind how they did that. And what was even crazier is Spider-Man was actually having a rough time, and he had a rough time, with what happens later on in the movie. So I was on the edge of my seat. The action was crazy. The secret endings were even crazier. The secret endings, bro. Secret endings. Let me just talk about that really quick. So, like I said, I'm not gonna put out any crazy spoilers. I'm gonna do a second review where I talk about everything. But, whoo! Oh my gosh. Stay awake for the whole movie is all I gotta say. Stay awake for the whole movie, and you will not be disappointed with these endings, man. Like, this was probably the most fruitful secret ending I've seen in a while, and it is gonna throw a huge wrench in things for the movies to come. It will. It definitely will. So if you guys are on the fence about whether or not you should stay after the credits, be on the fence no longer, because Spider-Man was definitely worth the watch. Jake Gyllenhaal did a great Mysterio. Obviously we had a lot of other supporting actor roles and stuff like that. Zendaya did a great job as Mary Jane. It was pretty cool. Flash Thompson, oh my god, Flash Thompson, man, so funny, man, so funny, dude. Completely not what I expected. I was used to the big buff, traditional Flash Thompson, but we got more of a social media fiend, which is also still pretty funny. Dude definitely has a personality for sure, so they definitely did his character justice. It was amazing. So branching off of that, right, that was pretty much the general synopsis. A couple little things in there that you might have heard that happened throughout the movie, and I expanded off of the commercials that you've seen already for Spider-Man. Now, one big thing that I did see that could possibly happen, I did hear Marvel starting their Phase 4 already, and this is going to be a huge thing for the universe. Obviously, it ended with Captain America and Iron Man, and fucking Scarlet Witch, man, they all dying. They all died basically. Captain America died of old age. Iron Man died from the war, and Endgame, and obviously you had Black Widow die from the sacrifice. She sacrificed herself. So unfortunately, we are not seeing any more of her at all. So the movies that are coming out are going to reflect where this goes. I have no idea who the main villain's going to be. I have no idea. I could take a shot in the dark and say it might be Galactus. There's nothing that's hinted at him at all, but I mean, there's no other possible thing I could see them doing that would point otherwise. The dude is way more powerful than Thanos, and the dude's probably the size of a super beast. He can eat planets, dude. So he's pretty big. He's pretty big. He's like a god type villain or whatever. So that being said, I was super hype. I'm actually gonna watch this movie again in a few days with some friends. I was just really eager to jump the gun and watch this, guys. So like I said, if you're on the fence about whether or not you should see this movie because Endgame already happened and you're just I'm not sure if this is gonna be for me, just watch it. Just shut up and watch it. It's totally worth the watch, and I'm gonna do more movie reviews, man, because that was fun. That was actually incredibly fun to watch. The visuals were amazing. They're amazing. The fights were crazy. There was one big trippy fight in this whole movie that had me on the edge of my seat, dude. I was just what the fuck am I watching, dude? It was a big fucking I was blown away is what I'll say. Without spoiling too much, I was blown away. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that helped with anybody that is on the fence about watching Spider-Man Far From Home. I do have to say, Peter Parker's aunt though. Aunt May, man. Aunt May can get it. You feel me? They picked a nice little young, attractive, aunt for him and stuff like that. I mean, we all see what they were talking about with Aunt May and the tabloids and stuff, man. So that being said, man, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else for you guys. I just wanted to kind of briefly touch on that shit really quick and kind of give you guys my opinion on it. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more movie reviews on the latest movies that are out right now, because that's something I feel like is going to be pretty awesome to add to the channel, just for people who are movie geeks like myself. So, yeah. Once I'll pretty much drop another video related to this at the end of the week, talking about what we watched, because I know you have to give it some time so the box office can go like, oh, blah blah blah. But yeah, this is gonna be crazy, absolutely crazy. Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace.